Well, a very good morning from London. Today is my last day here before going on a trip, and there's a few things we need to do today. There's a few errands to run, shoot with the new Rico, and talk about bruising the scene. Also need to say hello to Aaron, who is somewhere here. Just need to track him down. First, let's talk about what do we mean when we say bruising the scene. It's a street photography term which basically means that you are attracting attention to yourself and you are changing the way the scene would play out. So if there is an interaction between two people, you turn up with your camera and those two people notice you, they will change their behavior and what they're doing because of your presence. So you've bruised the scene. The scene changed because of something that you did or didn't do. Now, there isn't anything inherently wrong with bruising the scene, and many photographers do it on purpose in order to get a reaction, eye contact, or to just change the dynamic in their favor. However, I try not to do it. I don't like doing it because I prefer to photograph the scene as it happens kind of naturally without my intervention. So I try my best to not bruise the scene, to be as invisible as I can. And over the years I've learned a few things which helped me do that, and in this video I am gonna share some of them. Let's start with the most obvious thing you can do to attract attention, and that is to try to be sneaky, to try and get photos that you think no one's going to notice. So you start moving a little bit weird. You kind of, we've all seen those photographers who would walk past someone, just kind of start kind of doing this with their camera, or just doing sneaky shots, or generally behaving in a way that signals to everyone else that I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be here. And I'm trying my best to get away with whatever it is I'm trying to do. Now, body language is of course a complicated topic, and you can kind of talk about this endlessly. But for the most part, if you are somewhere and you're taking photos, don't try to hide it. And it sounds counterintuitive, but when you try to hide what you're doing, you're actually attracting even more attention to yourself. Need someone to ideally walk next to the window through the patch of light, maybe. Is that gonna work? This neatly brings me on to overstaying your welcome. You need to learn to not overstay your welcome when you're in a particular location taking photos. So when I was at the cinema just a minute ago, I was there for about a couple of minutes. A few people looked at me, which is normal, but no one really changed their behavior. No one came out, no one moved out the way, or just behaved in a way to signal they're uncomfortable with me being there. Now, that particular location is quite transient, so you might not bruise the scene too easily compared to, let's say, if you're a small market with minimal footfall and you're just standing there in the corner for 20 minutes. That can obviously bruise the scene a bit more, but you generally have to try to read the room and see if your presence is kind of welcomed or tolerated, or if it's clear that people are becoming uncomfortable with you being there. Something that takes time to figure out, but yeah, don't overstay your welcome. It's much better to spend a minute or two, take a few photos, remember the place for next time and come back, than to spend, an hour there, annoy everyone and make sure people remember you for next time. The main reason for this actually, before I move on, is because obviously we're all photographers. We know what this is. We know we're not out here to harm anyone or to do anything, just taking photos. However, many people don't know that. So when they see cameras, they're just thinking, okay, this person's been here with a camera taking photos for the last 20 to 30 minutes. Why? Who is it? Is it James Bond? Are they gonna tell me to the police? Are they gonna da-da-da? You never know what sort of scenarios people will conjure up in their minds. So that's why, yeah, don't overstay your welcome. This is cool. You got this guy standing there, nice reflection. Oh no, he's gone. No. The next point is pretty self-explanatory, and that is you want to avoid carrying too much gear or excessive gear. So for example, if you turn up with a little Ricoh or an X100 or a Q3, people wouldn't really say anything. However, if you now turn up with a Sony A1 with a 70-200, then another body with another lens, then a action camera and a huge backpack with a tripod sticking out of it, everyone is going to notice you. Some people think, well, that's a tourist with a spending problem. Other people might think, who does this person work for? Why are they taking my photo? Where will these photos be? Is it paparazzi? Is it a newspaper? Who is it? So you want to avoid those situations. Now, of course, the smaller the camera, the better, but I found through my experience that a standard kind of camera body like the Sony A7R with a 24-70 is kind of the limit of what I would bring in order to not overpack on camera gear. Dress in a way that blends in and doesn't make you stand out in the environment you're in. So, quick story, a few years ago me and Mum went to Casablanca, and on one of the days she wanted nice photos in a really nice dress that she had. Now my mum is quite the fashionista, obviously doesn't travel in the family because I mostly wear gym clothes, but that's a separate topic. And she wore this really beautiful dress, a very modest dress considering the country we're in, but nevertheless a dress that did stand out. And as we were walking around, every single person was staring. You physically couldn't bruise the scene any less than how we bruised the scene that day. Fast forward a few years, me and my girlfriend went back to Morocco. However, this time she dressed a bit more like, I don't want to say she didn't dress like locals, but she didn't wear a flamboyant dress. She wore very neutral colours, trousers, just like things which don't stick out. And while of course we'll still get some looks here and there, for the most part we blended in a lot better. The next thing you want to avoid doing is getting in the way. I was once getting off a tube in London, and there was a photographer who decided to, the moment he gets off the tube, to just stand there, block everyone because he wanted to take a picture. Not only did it make him extremely unpopular with, well, everyone there, but also everyone was aware that he was there taking pictures. So if that was the effect he was going for, he definitely achieved it. But if he wanted to be a bit more, let's say, inconspicuous, it didn't really work out for him. The light here is quite nice, but I think I need a slightly longer lens. I might have to crop this in. Anyway, as I was saying, you want to just avoid getting in the way. So if you find yourself at a busy market somewhere in Asia shooting, don't just stand right in the middle as people are trying to go about the day and buy their fruit and veg. Instead, move around them, stand in a corner, or just avoid disturbing them, because otherwise you just end up annoying people, and that's not going to help you. There you go, Big Aaron has arrived. He's got his into the mirror, and that's dude right there. Well, that's actually a shot as well. Right, this is Aaron changing his SD card.
I believe this is how it's done.
Alright.
So I think you twist this.
He likes twiddling with small knobs, doesn't he? He's trying to keep a straight face now.
It's the Patreon version of the episode.
Coming to OnlyFans, it's Aaron and his small knobs. The next thing you can do to avoid bruising the scene is don't go out shooting with a large group of people. I find that 3 people max is kind of the sweet spot before people start looking and thinking, why is there a group of lads or girls with cameras shooting? Right now, obviously, I'm out with Aaron. In 2 of us is absolutely fine. You can split up, you can shoot, you can walk together. 3 people is okay as well, but the moment you start shooting with like 4 people or more, you will attract attention because you'll all congregate in one area, you'll all be shooting probably the same thing, and you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. So my suggestion is keep the group small. If you are traveling with a large group, then maybe just break up and say, all right, 2 of us are going to go there, 2 of us are going to go there, we'll just meet for lunch somewhere in the middle. And that's, in my opinion, so much better than just walking with 5-6 people all together like a bull in a china shop trying to take photos. Another thing that is worth talking about is if, let's say, you walk into a place and everyone's greeting you, or everyone greets each other and people are talking to each other, having a laugh, smiling. If you walk in with a face like a slapped ass and you're just stern and you don't say hello, you don't smile, you don't acknowledge people, everyone will be like, who's this person? Why is this person so rude? Whereas if you walk into a place and let's say no one really acknowledges each other, it's quite kind of, less friendly. And if you walk in and go, hello, hello, hey, people will be thinking, like, who's this crazy person? Try to kind of blend into the environment with regards to your volume, your body language and your behavior. And that always goes a long way to help you not bruise the scene. Well, I hope this has been somewhat helpful and the things that I've shared with you make sense. This is just what I've learned through my experience over the years. In 3-4 years time, I might make another one of these videos and share everything that I've learned between now and then. Of course, if you have your own suggestions about blending in and not bruising the scene and all that kind of stuff, then just please let me know down in the comments. It'll be very good to hear your thoughts on all of this as well, what you do, whether you agree or disagree with anything that I've mentioned. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Now, where's Aaron? Over there. That's it. Wait, hold on, let me show you.
Oh, you asked what camera I'm using.
Oh, what camera are you using?
I like
MP.
MP. Yeah.
That's it. So there you go. That's Aaron, and I will leave you now, and I will see you next time from Spain. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye bye. At this point, I want to quickly thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've been a paying customer way before they supported the channel and have now been using their services for over 5 years. Squarespace is at the center of my online presence and it's what drives my blog, portfolio, store and newsletter. I appreciate the simplicity of managing everything from a single app because it saves me time,
and gives me peace of mind knowing that I can make changes or deal with issues from my phone. If you have a business, a side hustle, or simply want your own little corner of the internet to host your photography or build something big, Squarespace offers all the tools you need across all devices. If you want to learn more, get a free trial and then 10% off your first purchase, use the link in the description or enter code RomanFox at checkout. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.